First of all, everybody should know, and it's everybody, not just the children. I lived in several countries. The United States is the best country in the world to live. The second is we have all to avoid prejudice and hatred, because all those atrocities their results only from hatred and prejudice. And we have to teach our children, we have to start with the young. Older people sometimes is difficult to convince, no matter what you will tell them. It is ingrained in their characters to hate. But I think everybody should be treated equal and everybody should be given a chance. And I hope that the history won't repeat itself. Of course, I can't forget that I had a family. In what way my family was taken away from me. I hope that forgiveness will teach other people not to do what was done before.
There's a Polish poet, Wyspiański, and you've quoted him to me before.
Yeah, I remember a Polish quote. Pamiętaj ludziom dobre, nie pamiętaj złego. That means remember good what people did to you, but try to forget the bad.
Well, you see, I couldn't talk about my experience with my own children. I just couldn't. And about I would say 10, 15 years ago, when I started to talk about it. And I feel the children should know what happened if a group of people take power. Because sometimes we're voting for people, for politicians, what they promise you everything. But once they're in power, they do just the opposite. People are, in our wartime, people commit terrible crimes. Let the children know that they're using, go to vote for the right man, do whatever is best for you, get educated so you know what you're doing. Because without education, without knowledge what's going on, things like that can happen again, and I hope it will never happen. You see what happened between the Catholic and Protestant in Ireland, what happened in Bosnia. People never learn. And I think we should talk about it till put the point in to the people that people can be sadists sometimes if they have the opportunity.
People can be sadists?
Sadists, yeah. Some people take pleasure to inflict pain on the other people.
I wanted them to learn to not to be anti-Semitism, to realize every person is equal. And I want to tell them another thing, to remember when they have parents. I was too young, I lost my parents, and I had to struggle on my own to live. When they go home at night, to tell their parents how much they love them, and to hug them and kiss them. And when they go to school or to work, to tell them the same thing again. We love you.
I hope I can be sometime useful to the other people. That they will understand that's because we're dying out, really. The Holocaust survivors dying out, and who will be there to stand up and deny those denials, what are coming up today with all the books and written by intelligent people. So really, it worries me especially that there will be somebody who will stand up and say the Holocaust did exist.
So the message that you want young people
to fight, because it's up to them that they can prevent from happening again, because history repeats itself, and it can happen again if we let it happen. And it's very difficult. I'm still thinking of, there is not a day and night not to dream of my people. it's just something that you cannot forget. And if there will be a life, there will be share. If my husband will share happiness too, because he didn't live long to see his grandchildren, only one. So that's life goes on, and you make the best out of it. And I hope my children will have a better life.
Oh, it's one clear message. With everything, what I want to get to them is the message. The Holocaust, in my opinion, cannot be understood. Nobody in this wild world can understand the Holocaust, but I want them to remember. I owe it to my family and to my people. And when they will grow up and somebody will come and tell them that the Holocaust never exists, they can tell them that's not so, because I heard Shep Zittler speaking, and I touched him, and I hugged him, and we shook hands, then the Holocaust did exist. And that is the message. That is my purpose, and that is my main objective, to come to talk. That's why I'm getting up sometimes early in the morning, and I drive 60 miles. I don't get any money for them. It's just because I want to tell them that the Holocaust, to know that the Holocaust did exist.
Your experiences.
I didn't want them to know how I suffered, because they would feel sorry, and I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me.
And finally, when you did tell them?
Well, I had a friend of mine, Zittler, and he told me, why don't you tell your story to somebody, because you went through too much, the people should know. So this is when I started going to different schools. And telling the people so they know what it means, and to think more about us, how we suffered and all that.
Is that what you want the young people to
Yes.
to learn?
Mm-hmm. To learn about us, how we suffered, and that should never be repeated.
My message is to try to live together with all nationalities. We all brothers, really. We all the children of God.
It really hurts, and my only contribution, and I hope that this is the only thing that I can contribute to, knowing what it feels like to be persecuted for being Jewish. The same thing goes for Black. That to teach the younger people, to teach in schools what tolerance is all about. You have to embrace and be willing to listen to the other side. I mean, we're all the same, and it's a matter of teaching the younger people that you have to be tolerant just because you believe in a different God, just because your skin is black or white. If we could ever come to the point that we would judge a person by who they are, rather the way they look or what God they believe in.
Well, I think that era should not be forgotten, and I think more and more young people, I don't think the young people are aware of what happened in that time in the world, because you tend to be, if you're nice and safe in a place, you don't think of what's going on somewhere else. I think young people should be aware that these things happen, and we should learn a lesson from it. And it's all part of history.
And what is the lesson?
The lesson is that sometimes it's not what you do that you get punished for who you are.
Because I think that's why I survived. Survivors have to go through a guilt process. And I guess I used to ask myself, why? Why did I live? Why wasn't I taken with my father? And this is why. Because this can never be forgotten. In the New Orleans area, there's a club of New Americans made up of survivors that you know most of. And I'm the baby of that club. And when I go, it's up to these young people that I speak to remember what happened at the Holocaust. They need to never forget. And I speak to them because they have to understand that it's true. It did happen, because there are so many now who are saying that it never happened. And I believe that that's why I do this, because it is something that has to be told.
There's a beautiful photograph of you and your father, the only photograph you have.
Yes, that's the only one.
And you're standing beside him.
As a little girl in the street, and that's all I have.